have low vision or have another print disability, which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Welcome to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour is Will Evans. And we'll first take a look at the Amherst Bee. Our first article has the headline, Sweet Home Holding Public Vote for Proposed Capital Improvement Project. After 4 years of development and planning, the Sweet Home Central School District has proposed a brand new capital improvement project that will tackle issues across every school in the district. This $90.5 million project will likely begin its renovations in summer 2027. However, the project must go through a public voting phase and approving phase from the New York State Education Department. The public voting for this project will take place from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesday, December 16th at the Virgil's Community Center at 1901 Sweet Home Road. This project is transformational for our district because it is rare in New York to see schools adding space. Our enrollment is going up, which is also not common in New York, said Sweet Home Central School District Superintendent Michael Ginstry. It is so important for people to come out and vote on this project because the community gave us these ideas. They gave us the parameters on what they wanted to see out of the project, and we tried to deliver. In total, 756 community members participated in surveys and focus groups to determine what the capital project should include. The most commonly listed themes in community responses were bigger/more classrooms, additional parking, better spaces for special education services, storage space, PE/gym renovations, and playground improvements, safety, and security. Additionally, this project will include issues that were brought up during a building condition survey, which must be completed every 5 years. These issues could include roofing, HVAC, fire alarms, boilers, and access controls. With the community input and building condition survey results, the official project was broken into 2 propositions to limit the impact that the project will have on taxes. Proposition 1 is a tax-neutral $55.2 million portion of the project that focuses on additions to Maplemere, Heritage Heights, and Glendale elementary schools to add a total of 10 new classrooms, renovate all elementary libraries, as well as maintenance upgrades across all schools in the district, including a full roof replacement of Sweet Home Middle School. Proposition 2 is a $35.3 million portion of the project that adds additional enhancements to the elementary schools, including classroom renovations, gym upgrades, and corridor improvements. This proposition will also cover large upgrades to athletics, including turf replacement and improvements to athletic facilities. The project is covered by state aid, debt service falling off from a 2004 project, and $3 million in capital reserve funds. Proposition 1 is tax neutral because of these factors. Proposition 2 includes a one-time increase of $64 per the average $250,000 home value and cannot be approved without a positive vote on the first proposition. It was very important to us that we didn't want to make this super heavy on the taxpayers, said Ginestri. A lot of the issues that are being addressed in this project are critical, so we tackled the more important ones in the first proposition to be tax neutral. With these new renovations, every elementary classroom will have improved lighting, furniture, and equipment to make a modernized learning environment. Additionally, HVAC units, library, and hallway upgrades will take place at each school, and the roof of Sweet Home Middle School will be completely redone. We create great learning spaces and workspaces for our teachers and our maintenance crews to do a good job, but there are just so many things that haven't been updated in decades, said Ginestri. This project is more than double the size of any project we have ever done, but it is to create the absolute best environment for everyone involved in the district. For athletics, Gym floors and equipment will be renovated at each school, and additional renovations at Sweet Home High School. At the high school's athletic complex, existing turf, which is at end of life, will be replaced, as well as turf added to existing grass, baseball, and softball diamonds. This will allow for scheduling flexibility and increased opportunities for student athletes. Due to the urgency of certain issues addressed in the project and the potential one-year wait for New York State Education Department approval, public voting will take place much earlier in the school year than usual. It isn't rare to have these kinds of things voted on around this time of year. It just doesn't happen all the time, said Genestri. We want to make sure that this can get approved and started as soon as possible. So that is why we decided to hold the vote now. Our next article's headline is Town of Amherst honors Mean Gene Widlicka for 23 years of wellness instruction. The town of Amherst honored Mean Gene Widlicka for 23 years of service as an instructor at the Amherst Center for Senior Services during a ceremony on Tuesday, December 2nd. Widlicka, 87, has taught wellness and exercising to hundreds of members of the Senior Center during her time as an instructor. However, before becoming an instructor, Widlicka had a lot of experience in professional dance. As a child, Widlicka's mother sparked her interest in entertainment as her family would regularly perform in front of an audience. My mother was in show business, said Widlicka. At the end of my mother's act, she would come out slowly and send out my brother and I for a little piece, and the audience loved it. Eventually, the director added in an entire brother and sister act for the two of us. We would come out and sing and dance. That is what every weekend was like for us, and that is where my love of dance started. After growing up in Virginia and moving to New York City, Widlicka was offered a scholarship at the American School of Ballet, where she began to make the jump to dancing professionally. During her time as a professional dancer, Widlicka spent 1 year as a Radio City Rockette, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. Being a Rockette was a very busy lifestyle, Widlicka said. A lot of people don't realize that you are working all day. You get to the studio at 5 a.m. for wardrobe and makeup, and then a few hours later you are performing. It was a very exhausting lifestyle, but people always look back on it very fondly. Later on in her dancing career, Widlicka founded the Without Words Dance Ensemble in 2004, the national dance company of Moving Miracles, which was created for dancers with exceptional abilities. In 2008, she was named Outstanding Dance Educator of the Year, Private Sector, by the National Dance Education Organization. Now, Widlicka uses her dance and teaching experience to teach wellness classes to senior citizens for over 20 years. Movement is so important for people the older they get, said Widlicka. I know sometimes it is hard for people to have motivation to do things when the weather isn't so nice, and that is why it is so important to get your body moving. The body is born lazy. If you weren't forced to walk as a baby, then you wouldn't walk. So I make sure that everybody can get the necessary movement they need to continue living in a comfortable way, because you only get one body. After 23 years of teaching at the Amherst Center for Senior Services and teaching hundreds of seniors how to keep their body healthy, Widlicka was honored by the town of Amherst for her work. It was an absolute honor, said Widlicka. I have been all over the place to different senior centers, and there is no senior center that has a facility quite like this one. I have had a great time teaching all of these classes here over the years, and it means a lot that so many people appreciate what I am doing. Seriously, this facility is like no other, and I am honored to be a part of it. Next up, First Night Buffalo and Party Packs return for New Year's Eve. The Independent Health Foundation's 37th annual First Night Buffalo program will welcome 2026 at the end of the month, once again offering its free online family-friendly show and a $25 family party pack. Now in its 6th year in an online format, First Night Buffalo features music, dancing, animal shows, and more. All performances will be available for free at www.firstnightbuffalo.org starting on December 31st, including Jeff the Animal Guy of Nickel City Reptiles and Exotics, DJ Milk, Jim the Balloon Guy, Drawing with Mallory, Squiggly Art Face Painting, Storytime with Christine, Master Ketchen's Taekwondo characters from Emily's Memories, and more. The party pack is available for purchase at select Tops Friendly Markets locations and online at www.firstnightbuffalo.org/dot. It includes festive items and activities for a family of 4 to celebrate New Year's Eve at home, including party hats, glow accessories, balloons, noisemakers, confetti poppers, a disco spotlight, temporary tattoos, a face paint palette, a coloring banner with crayons, juggling scarves, 2 free kids admissions to explore and more, and more. A portion of the proceeds from Party Pack sales will benefit Oshai Children's Hospital, helping fund critical programs in life-saving technology and advanced care to achieve the best possible outcomes for moms, kids, and babies in Western New York. And now we'll head over to Clarence, and our first article is written by Patrick Casilio, Town of Clarence Supervisor. Clarence Senior Center upgrades strengthened services for local seniors. The Town of Clarence was recently awarded a Community Development Block Grant from Erie County to complete important upgrades at the Clarence Senior Center. This funding allowed the town to modernize key areas of the facility, strengthen programs that serve older residents, and ensure the center remains a welcoming and accessible community resource for years to come. A major component of the project was the construction of a new garage for the rural transit van that operates out of the senior center. This service is vital for seniors who rely on safe and dependable transportation to medical appointments, grocery stores, and other essential errands. Among the 17 towns that participate in rural transit, Clarence's van, funded by Erie County and supported by local volunteers, is consistently the busiest, completing more than 1,300 trips each year. Housing the van indoors will protect it from winter weather and allow drivers to begin their routes more quickly and efficiently. The parking lot at the Senior Center, which dated back nearly 40 years to the building's original construction, also received a much-needed overhaul. Highway Superintendent James Dusing and his crew resurfaced and expanded the lot, upgraded the drainage system, and replaced concrete at the main entrance. These improvements will make the center safer, easier to navigate, and better equipped to handle daily use. Other enhancements included a new sign for the center, an improved entrance for Meals on Wheels, and a new dispatch office for rural transit staff. The Parks Department also built a concrete pad and awning for Meals on Wheels volunteers, giving them protection from the elements as they prepare daily deliveries for seniors in Clarence and Newstead. Landscaping updates throughout the grounds further improved the accessibility and appearance. Last week, County Executive Mark Poloncarz, Legislator Chris Green, and Town of Clarence officials visited the Senior Center to highlight the completed work. Both county leaders noted the value of the partnership between the town and Erie County and emphasized how community development block grants help support local services. We extend our thanks to both County Executive Poloncarz and Legislator Green for their cooperation and support of this project, which will directly benefit Clarence residents. Several town departments played key roles in bringing this project to completion. Special thanks go to Town Engineer Tim Lavocat for overseeing the improvements and to Town Planner Jonathan Bluer for preparing the successful grant application. Appreciation is also extended to Highway Superintendent Jamie Dusing, Parks Crew Chief Jason Holden, and their crews for their dedicated work throughout the project. As 2025 comes to a close, this has been a year marked by progress and continued investment in the community. From infrastructure upgrades and parks improvements to public safety initiatives and expanded services for residents of all ages, Clarence continues to move forward with strength and purpose. The Senior Center upgrades represent just one example of the positive momentum happening across town. Next month's article will feature a full recap of 2025 accomplishments, along with a preview of projects and initiatives to look forward to in 2026. Wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a joyful holiday season. Amy Engler, Clarence Chamber of Commerce Executive Director, writes our next article, Clarence Chamber Planning for the New Year. As the holiday shopping season is in full swing, so is planning for the new year at the Clarence Chamber. Please mark your calendars for our major 2026 events. TBD, State of the Town. That means to be determined, State of the Town. Thursday, March the 5th, State of Development. Thursday, March 19th, Annual Awards Gala. Monday, June 8th, Annual Golf Tournament. Monday, August 3rd, Taste of Clarence. We are also excited to introduce our new Business Chat morning educational series for the first quarter of 2026. Ron Brennan, owner of Connie Marketing Group, will lead a new marketing-focused session each month. Tuesday, January 27th, the State of Digital Marketing. Tuesday, February 24th, the AI Advantage. And Tuesday, March 24th, Putting It All Together. All sessions will be held in the town auditorium from 8:30 to 10 a.m. They are free for chamber members and $10 for non-members. Additional networking opportunities, including lunch mobs, after-hours events, and more, will be announced soon. Follow us on social media or visit our website for updates and ways to get involved. Our awards committee has been hard at work reviewing the nominations for our 53rd Annual Awards Gala on Thursday, March 19th at Samuel's Grand Manor. Honorees will be announced soon, so stay tuned. This year's award categories include Business of the Year, Organization of the Year, Lifetime Achiever, Citizen of the Year, Educator of the Year, New Small Businesses of the Year, and a new award to be announced soon. Each honoree will be recognized at our awards gala on Thursday, March 19th. For more information or to reserve your ticket, visit www.clarencechamber.org or call 716-631-3888. That's 716-631-3888. Purchasing a full table remains the most cost-effective option, so gather your family, friends, and colleagues and get ready for Clarence's premier event of the year on Thursday, March 19th at Samuel's Grand Manor. If you are interested in hosting a lunch mob or after-hours event or showcasing your business in 2026, please reach out. We are always looking for new venues and creative ideas. Stay connected by visiting www.clarencechamber.org or following us on social media for details on upcoming events. For information about membership, involvement opportunities, or our upcoming programs and webinars, please contact the Clarence Chamber at info@clarencechamber.org or 716-631-3888. Again, 716-631-3888. And here's a reminder to Clarence seniors. The Clarence Senior Center will close at noon on December 24th with no lunch served. We'll be closed on December 25th for Christmas. We'll close early after New Year's Eve lunch on December 31st. And will be closed all day on January 1st. The Clarence Senior Center is located at 4600 Thompson Road. Anyone entering the center should sign in at the foyer when arriving and sign out when leaving. Hours are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Office staff are available by phone to answer questions and provide assistance at 716-633-5138. That's 716-633-5138. Lunch/dinner menus and flyers for upcoming trips are available in the office. And we'll head over now to Cheektowaga, and our first article in Cheektowaga Bee carries the headline, Cheektowaga Symphony Gears Up for Festive Holiday Performance. The Cheektowaga Community Symphony Orchestra will perform its annual holiday concert at 3 p.m. Sunday, December 21st at St. Andrew Roman Catholic Church, 34 Francis Avenue in Sloan. The concert is free, as are all of the orchestra's events, though donations will be accepted. A basket raffle will also be held. Jonathan Hager, the symphony's general manager, said each section of the orchestra is assembling baskets with themes ranging from holiday items to cooking items, wine, and more. Raffle tickets can be purchased at the event. Throughout the concert, the orchestra will perform the Christmas song, arranged by Bob Loden and written by Mel Torme, Sleigh Ride by Leroy Anderson, along with a second rendition by Frederick Delius, A Most Wonderful Christmas, arranged by Robert Sheldon, The Bells of Christmas, arranged by Bob Krogstad, Polonaise from Christmas Eve Suite by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, and additional selections. The program will also include a Christmas sing-along, with audience participation encouraged, and Leslie Baller, a soprano soloist, will perform during several pieces. According to the orchestra website, Baller is a professional violinist who has expanded her musical career to include vocal study as well as choral and solo performance. Baller has also performed solo and chamber vocal music for the Amherst Chamber Ensembles, Community Music School, St. Paul's Episcopal, Orchard Park Presbyterian Church, and more. She was also a professional singer at St. Andrew's Church in Buffalo, and she sang with the Buffalo Philharmonic Chorus from 2007 to 2014. She was even a member of the Freudig Singers of Western New York, according to the website. Hager, the principal percussionist, has been with the symphony for nearly 15 years. He has said audiences enjoy the orchestra's performances, especially those who appreciate classical music. He noted that the symphony's conductor and music director, Thomas Witakowski, is a pretty animated individual who shares anecdotal stories about the composers and songs. He's a great scholar of musical history, Hager said. Hager added that Witakowski, who is of Polish heritage, often draws from his Polish background when selecting music for concerts, which is something to note given Cheektowaga's large Polish population. For example, Polonaise refers to a Polish dance form that originated from traditional Polish folk dance. While not every member of the symphony is from Cheektowaga, many musicians come from the town and surrounding communities. To learn more about the orchestra, visit their website at www.cheektowagasymphony.com. Next up, Cheektowaga opens debate on term limits, public hearing set. The town of Cheektowaga unanimously passed a resolution Tuesday, December 9th, to call for a public hearing that will allow residents to share their views on term limits. The hearing is scheduled for 5:30 p.m. Tuesday, December 30th at Cheektowaga Town Hall, 3301 Broadway, and is expected to continue as needed. The resolution, which was sponsored by Republican Council members Barbara Bakowski and Vernon Thompson, states that the town desires to expand participation in the electoral process by bringing new ideas to governance, and the board believes it is in the best interest of its residents to adopt a chapter to the town code limiting terms of office for elected officials. Bakowski said enacting term limits was something she campaigned on 2 years ago, but said there were other pressing issues and concerns that needed to be addressed when she got elected, which delayed the resolution to call for a public hearing. Bukowski said that over the past summer, she explored the possibility of placing a referendum regarding term limits on the ballot for the November election to let taxpayers decide whether elected officials should be subject to limits. However, the process to get the referendum on the ballot was never completed, and the town missed the deadline. Bukowski, responding to comments on social media, said the decision to call for a public hearing on term limits is not a sore loser response to Republicans losing the election and the majority on the town board, adding that she just wants to hear people's thoughts on term limits. Bukowski suggested keeping the public hearing open when the new Democratic board members take office in January so they can participate in it. Cheektowaga Supervisor Brian Nowak said he and Bukowski, who will serve alongside Thompson as part of the Republican minority when the new members take office, spoke about the public hearing on Monday, and he agrees that the public hearing should extend into January to give residents multiple opportunities to share their thoughts on term limits. Nowak said when he was first elected to public office 8 years ago, he considered elections term limits, but over that course of time, he's thought about what happens when members of Congress, the state legislatures, and people in county offices are in office for 40-plus years. At some point, you want to give an opportunity for new folks to get involved. However, Nowak said there is an argument against term limits. He noted that members of Congress can become entrenched in their districts, sometimes drawing their own district boundaries over time. Town-level politics, he said, are different because the borders remain the same. It's the same borders, it's just different people every year going to vote, he said. Nowak said he'd argue that term limits are less necessary at the local level. You know, you have people that are involved in office for a real long time that can carry good legislation that helps to change things and get some good things done, he said. There are still discussions to be had about the length of term limits, the number of terms someone can run for, and more if the board decides to put out a referendum. Residents are encouraged to voice their opinions on those matters during the public hearings. Our next article headline is ECSO has tools to battle Western New York winter weather. And this is by John Garcia, Erie County Sheriff. Investment in our public safety services is an investment in our families. It is an investment in our neighbors. There is no better time to highlight this than the beginning of the winter weather season. It's December now, and we have already experienced our first few snow events of the year. While these snowfalls have been relatively manageable so far, the Erie County Sheriff's Office must be ready to respond in the event of a major blizzard, and we are. Our Special Operations Division utilizes several important pieces of equipment during major winter storms. These include 4 Skidoo snowmobiles, 2 Can-Am Maverick vehicles with tracks, 2 Can-Am Defender vehicles with tracks. Some of these vehicles were purchased following the December 2022 blizzard. We recognized the need and we acted without hesitation. It doesn't stop there. We also have 4-wheeled off-road vehicles in our arsenal. The most recent purchase of 2 H-125 helicopters for our aviation unit will also play a role for decades to come. While our use of the helicopters is limited during weather events, the ability to have an eye in the sky once the weather clears can provide invaluable intelligence for assets on the ground, including first responders, public works, and utility teams. These investments are all about you. This equipment is here to keep you safe. If you find yourself in trouble during a weather emergency, call 911. We will be there to help. On another note, I want to extend congratulations to 2 members of the Erie County Sheriff's Office. Sarah Coffey, our Director of Correctional Health, and Charisse Cobbs, Director of our Reentry Opportunity Center, recently graduated from the Leadership Buffalo Class Experience program. Leadership Buffalo describes it as a year-long program designed for established leaders across the greater Buffalo region who are ready to deepen their impact and understanding of servant leadership. Their participation in this program offered them the important opportunity to network with other Western New York professionals spanning multiple disciplines. This will stand to benefit our incarcerated population and the Erie County Sheriff's Office as a whole. Well done, Sarah and Charisse. On behalf of Under Sheriff William Cooley and my entire staff, I wish you and your family warmest holiday wishes. I look forward to speaking with you again in 2026. And we'll leave Cheektowaga and we'll head over to Lancaster and take a look at the Lancaster Bee. Our first article, Village of Lancaster honored as 2025 Tree City USA Community. The Arbor Day Foundation has recognized the Village of Lancaster as a 2025 Tree City USA Community. Marking the 7th year in a row, the village has earned this national designation for its commitment to planting, growing, and maintaining trees to benefit residents and businesses. This recognition reflects the village's long-term investment in a healthy, sustainable urban forest through ongoing tree planting, maintenance, and preservation programs. To qualify as a Tree City USA community, municipalities must include maintaining a tree board or department, adopting a community tree ordinance, dedicating resources to a comprehensive forestry program, and observing Arbor Day with an official proclamation or event. Village officials have noted in the past that trees provide numerous benefits, including shade and cooling, improved air quality, reduced stormwater runoff, and enhanced property values, while also contributing to the community's overall character and walkability. The village's tree initiatives include routine planting, pruning, hazard assessment, and educational outreach aimed at helping property owners understand the value of proper tree care. Residents interested in learning more about Lancaster's tree programs, upcoming planting efforts, or volunteer opportunities are encouraged to visit the Village of Lancaster website for additional information and updates. The county promotes shopping local for Christmas trees. With just about 2 weeks until Christmas, if you haven't gotten your tree yet, it's probably time to start shopping sooner than later. Erie County is promoting a series of county-based farms where residents who celebrate Christmas can find that perfect tree. From pre-cut trees to cut-your-own options, families can choose from a variety of farms that offer a traditional outdoor holiday experience close to home. Tree farms in Erie County include Akron Acres in Akron, Blas Tree Farm in Eden, Boston Hill Nursery in Colden, Brant's Morley Road Tree Farm in North Collins, County Country's Pine Farm and Field of Dreams in Holland, Egan's Regal Evergreens and Evergreen Hills in Sardinia, and Trayer Tree Farm in South Wales. Additional locations include Hills Christmas Tree Farm in Springville, Jake's Greenhouse and Jurek Plantations in Clarence, Jurek Christmas Tree Farm in East Amherst, Kathy and Jerry's Christmas Trees in Angola, Red Barn Christmas Tree Farm in East Aurora, and Roth's Hillside Tree Farm in East Concord. Many farms offer wreaths and other seasonal items with hours that vary by location and date. Residents are asked to confirm days and times of operation directly with each farm before visiting, as weather and supply can affect schedules. Families are encouraged to dress for the weather, plan ahead, and enjoy a festive outing while supporting local farm businesses this holiday season. Parks and Recreation Department opens registration for basketball youth program. The Town of Lancaster Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department is now accepting registrations for its winter basketball skills and drills program at Court Street Elementary School. The program is designed for boys and girls ages 6 to 8 who want to sharpen fundamentals, build confidence, and take their game to the next level in a fun, structured environment. Basketball skills and drills will be held Wednesday evenings in the Court Street Elementary Gym on January 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th, February 4th, 11th, and 25th, and March the 4th. Boys ages 6 to 8 will practice from 6 to 7 p.m., followed by girls ages 6 to 8 from 7 to 8 p.m. Participants will focus on core skills such as dribbling, passing, shooting, footwork, teamwork, and sportsmanship through age-appropriate drills and activities. The fee for the program is $50 for Town of Lancaster residents and $55 for non-residents. Space is limited and advanced registration is required online at the department's Active Communities portal at anc.apm.activecommunities.com/LancasterRecNY. Families seeking more information about basketball skills and drills or other youth programs may contact the Town of Lancaster Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department at 716-684-3320 or visit the department's website. That phone number again, 716-684-3320. Robert Leary, Town of Lancaster Supervisor, writes our next article, Holiday Heroes. For this month's article, I want to bring special attention to and thank the many groups and individuals who dedicate their time during the holiday season to support individuals and families in need by donating or raising money, toys, and other goods. It is wonderful to see so many people working hard to make sure food is on the table for our residents and that children will be able to receive warm clothing and a few extra Christmas gifts if their families are having a tough time making ends meet. I find it amazing and inspirational how this community comes together to take care of their neighbors throughout the year, but especially during the holiday season. One of the groups delivering extra joy this holiday season is the Lancaster Youth Bureau. The Youth Bureau is under the leadership of Executive Director John Trojanowski and his incredible staff. The Youth Bureau's Day of Giving will take place Wednesday, December 17th. This is a day when families in need will be provided with food, clothing, toys, as well as other gifts for children. The Youth Bureau is located at 100 Oxford Avenue, Lancaster. The Youth Bureau Day of Giving is conducted in coordination with the New Neediest Fund and the Western New York Holiday Partnership. The day includes volunteer students from the Lancaster and Depew schools, along with the Youth Bureau's teen volunteers. The young helpers will be assisting with the sorting of toys and gifts for the many families who will be receiving a full holiday meal, cookies, hats, gloves, scarves, and socks, along with freshly cut trees, ornaments, and lights. This event is truly amazing and would even make a Scrooge smile. The donations, partnerships, and coordination that make the Day of Giving possible represent a proud tradition that this town has had and will continue to embrace with open arms. For those of you in the holiday spirit who would like to help at the Youth Bureau Day of Giving, there is still time. The Youth Bureau is in special need this year of gifts for kids and teens ages 10 and up. Gift cards make great presents and would also be appreciated. The Lancaster Youth Bureau can be contacted at 716-683-4444. That's 716-683-4444. So, to all of you who have taken on the job of caring for others this holiday season, and especially for those who have been doing this for many, many years, please accept my sincere thanks from all of us in the town of Lancaster. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. Moving ahead, State DEC launches campaign to limit excessive road salt use. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, the DEC, has launched a winter safety and water protection initiative urging residents, businesses, and municipalities to cut back on excessive road salt use. The Don't Be Salty New York campaign promotes safer, more efficient de-icing practices amid growing concerns about the environmental and infrastructure impacts of salt runoff. State officials said even small amounts of rock salt can contaminate waterways, threaten aquatic life, and damage infrastructure such as pipes, bridges, and vehicles. Overuse also poses risks to drinking water supplies, particularly for New Yorkers who rely on private wells. The campaign encourages smart salting habits, including shoveling before applying salt, using measured amounts, about 12 ounces for a typical driveway or series of sidewalk blocks, and limiting salt to high traffic areas rather than blanketing entire surfaces. The DEC also notes that rock salt becomes ineffective below 15 degrees, advising sand or alternative de-icers in colder conditions. Residents are urged to use a spreader for even application and to consider homemade brine mixes to reduce overall salt use. And we'll head over now and see what's happening in the Depew Bee in our first article, State Making Significant Changes to DMV Point System. As 2026 approaches, Erie County Clerk Michael P. Kearns is urging motorists to prepare for significant and far-reaching changes to the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles driver point system. These reforms, adopted in late 2024, are designed to more quickly identify high-risk motorists and improve road safety across New York State. With these new rules taking effect, it's important for every New York driver to understand how points work and how they can affect your driving privileges, said Kearns. Points on a license can also impact what you pay for insurance. Currently, drivers face a possible suspension if they accumulate 11 points within 18 months. However, under the new rules, drivers can face suspension with 10 points within 24 months. This means drivers will have a lower point threshold limit before facing penalties or possible suspension. Many common violations will now carry more points, making it easier to reach the 10-point threshold. Speeding up to 10 miles per hour over limit, increasing from 3 to 4 points. Using a cell phone while driving, increasing from 5 to 6 points. Failure to yield to a pedestrian, increasing from 3 to 5 points. Reckless driving or passing a stopped school bus will now result in 8 points, up from 5. Speeding in construction zones is a particular focus under the new law. Violators who exceed the speed limit in a construction zone will now result in 8 points regardless of speed. This is one of the most dramatic changes in the new law, Kearns said. Construction workers deserve to be protected, and the state is sending a clear message. Drivers will also see points added for violations that previously never carried any. Equipment violations, 1 point each. Illegal U-turns, 2 points. Obstructing traffic, 2 points. Failure to move over for emergency vehicles, 3 points. These changes originate from Governor Kathy Hochul's 2023 State of the State Initiative, were formally proposed in the July 2024 New York State Register, adopted in November 2024, and will take place in effect in February 2026. A major key change took effect in January 2025 for impaired driving reform. The number of impaired driving convictions that result in a lifetime license revocation has been reduced from 5 DUI convictions to 4. If you've been convicted of drunk driving 4 times, what the state is saying is you shouldn't have a license and shouldn't be on the road, said Kearns. And to every innocent victim of a drunk driver, I don't know anyone who disagrees with that. These reforms aim to identify dangerous driving behavior earlier, increase accountability for repeat offenders, and strengthen protections for families on New York's roadways. Driving is a responsibility, said Kearns. Understanding the rules of the road, as well as the new point system, helps keep your license in good standing and helps keep our roadways safer for everyone. Motorists can find full details on point values, violation explanations, and how to review their driving record by visiting the New York State DMV website. And our next article in the Depew Bee is written by District Attorney Michael Keene. Have a safe and happy holiday season. As District Attorney, I have the privilege of serving a community where compassion and unity shine even brighter during this time of year. As we enter a season of celebration and reflection, I want to share a few thoughts on how we can keep ourselves, our families, and our neighbors safe while enjoying the holidays. While this festive time can be filled with joy, it can also present unique risks. Every year, my office sees an increase in preventable accidents, including impaired driving, domestic disputes, amplified by stress, thefts, and scams targeting the generous and the vulnerable. With some thoughtful plans and small, caring acts, we can prevent harm and protect the spirit of the holiday season. Celebrate responsibly. If your celebrations include alcohol, you must make transportation arrangements in advance. It is illegal to drive under the influence of any illicit substance, including alcohol and legal recreational cannabis. Our local law enforcement partners increase patrols during the holidays to protect our streets and prevent tragedies. Please ask a designated driver, call a taxi company, or request a ride share to ensure that you and others on the road arrive home safely. Care for your mental health. The holiday season can intensify stress, financial pressure, and feelings of loneliness. If you are struggling, help is available 24/7 through the Crisis Services Hotline at 716-834-3131. That's Crisis Services Hotline, 716-834-3131. Additionally, 211 Western New York is a free and confidential link to various resources in our community. If you are a victim of domestic/intimate partner violence or feel unsafe, call the 24-hour Domestic Violence Hotline response for Erie County at 716-884-6000. That's for the 24-hour Domestic Violence Hotline response for Erie County, 716-884-6000. Protect yourself from scams. Criminals are known to take advantage of the busy holiday season. Beware of any unsolicited calls or suspicious requests for donations. Use caution when shopping online. Look out for fake retail websites. Ignore text messages indicating that a package failed to deliver, and reconsider any deal that seems too good to be true. If you're unsure, talk to someone you trust before you act. And look out for one another. Community safety is a shared responsibility. As the holidays approach, please continue to look out for one another by keeping an eye on your neighbors' homes, checking on the elderly, and reporting suspicious activity. Vigilance is the first line of defense to prevent crime. Protect your property by securing your residence and locking your vehicle. Make your home appear occupied while you're away, and hide gifts and valuables from plain sight. To prevent porch pirates, do not leave packages unattended outside. Finally, I want to thank the residents of Erie County for your continued cooperation and trust. On behalf of the District Attorney's Office, I wish you a peaceful, joyous, and safe holiday season. Happy holidays. And here's a Depew Bee editorial. Give the gift of life this Christmas. Some gifts simply cannot be wrapped up with a pretty little bow and placed underneath the tree. But the unwrappable gifts are perhaps the most important you can give. It's the priceless gifts that really matter, like your presence, your time, a kind word, a smile, and one life-saving gift that is less frequently thought of, a pint of blood. The American Red Cross reports that every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood and/or platelets, and that about 29,000 units of red blood cells, almost 5,000 units of platelets, and almost 6,500 plasma units are used in the U.S. every single day. While that includes people who have been in terrible accidents and need their blood replenished, they aren't the only ones who benefit from blood donations. Your blood could help someone suffering from cancer. Your blood could help someone with sickle cell disease, blood disorders, anemia, or iron deficiency. Your blood could help newborns, women giving birth, or patients undergoing surgery. And that isn't even the complete list of people who sorely need your donation. Giving blood is as easy of a process as you want it to be. The quickest and simplest option is whole blood donation. The needle goes in your arm, blood goes out, and you go on your merry way afterwards, knowing that you've saved up to 3 lives by giving less than an hour of your time. You can donate whole blood up to 6 times per year with a 56-day waiting period between donations. Other types of donations involve blood being drawn out into a special device called an apheresis machine, which takes the blood component you're donating and then puts everything else back. The donations you can make with the apheresis machine include double red cells / power reds, 2 units of red blood cells. You can donate 3 times a year with a 112-day waiting period between donations. Platelets. You can donate 24 times each year with a 2-week waiting period between donations at Connect Life or a 1-week waiting period between donations at Red Cross. Plasma. You can donate to Red Cross up to 13 times per year with a 28-day waiting period between donations. We'll be honest with you. The needle used to collect blood donations is a bit bigger than the one you usually see in the doctor's office. But it's nothing to be afraid of, and the phlebotomists are jabbing people so often that they tend to be good at getting the needle in smoothly. You can do your part to make it easier for them by staying well hydrated before your donation. Trust us, they'll be able to find your veins much more easily if you've been drinking lots of water. To learn more, find a blood drive or make an appointment to donate, visit Connect Life at www.connectlife.org/donate-blood or Red Cross at www.redcrossblood.org. Our last paper to look at today is the Kenton Bee, and our first article, School District Makes Changes to Arrival and Dismissal Procedures. The Kenton School District Superintendent, Sabatino Samato, has directed the Franklin and Hoover complexes to make changes to arrival dismissal procedures to ensure that buses are always kept separate from vehicle traffic. This is being done in hopes of making arrival and dismissal as safe as it can be. The changes in each school are as follows. Franklin Elementary. Pickup and drop-off will remain unchanged except for the small number of families who have been contacted individually by the school. Franklin Middle. Drop-off will remain unchanged, and there will continue to be no pickup drop-off along Parkhurst Boulevard. For dismissal, families of 7th grade students will pick them and their siblings up in the middle school parking lot. Families of 5th and 6th grade students will utilize the rear parking lot. Families will use tags so staff can identify their children. Hoover Elementary and Middle School. Drop-off and pickup will be behind the school. Families dropping off and picking up their children will enter by making a right turn from Sheridan Drive. Follow the traffic pattern and exit by making a right turn back onto Sheridan Drive. It is very important that people do not make a left-hand turn into this parking lot for safety reasons. Families will use tags so staff can identify their children. Once again, schools will be providing additional details in the coming days, including videos and diagrams, which will clearly demonstrate what families need to know. The information shared by the schools will also include the times parking lots are able to be accessed. The first day of implementation will be Monday, December 15th. The school district will also monitor the situation at both complexes closely in case further modifications need to be made, as one can know how successful changes can be only after the actual implementation. Our next article is written by Town of Tonawanda Supervisor Joseph Eminger. Town will build on this year's successes in 2026. As we prepare to turn the page on 2025, it is worth the time to take a moment and reflect on some of what we have accomplished and look ahead to what may be in store in the new year. As I have said on countless occasions, and I know I am biased, but the town of Tonawanda has the best municipal department heads in Erie County. With our town employees, they put forward their best effort around the clock to to serve the residents, businesses, and visitors to Tonawanda. In April, we introduced you to the newest member of the Town of Tonawanda Police Department, an English bulldog named Lucy, who was donated to the department by Hope Rises, a local nonprofit that is known for its charitable efforts of love. Lucy has become a fixture in the department and is under the supervision of her handler, Detective Michelle McCormick. As TTPD's therapy dog, Lucy provides an emotional boost within the Frank H. Fnauner Public Safety Building on Sheridan Drive, where officers can be with her after dealing with stressful situations. She is also a regular at community events. The town's water quality initiative is underway. The town has completed an inventory of more than 87% of the 23,821 service lines in our water system, finding only 4 lead service lines among the 20,815 connections inventoried. When the inventory process is completed, very few lead lines are expected to be found based on the significant historical records review, water main replacements, and in-home inspections completed to date. By 2037, the town will be required to certify there are no lead water service lines left in the water system. Based on these statistics, we are well ahead of schedule to meet this regulatory deadline. May saw the opening of the Paddock Chevrolet Spray Park in Paddock Park. It has been a huge hit with the park operating at capacity most days. The opening of the spray park marked the completion of what is the crown jewel of municipal parks in western New York, if not all of the state. 23,671 people visited the park, generating over $153,000 in revenue. Paddock Park has become a destination that makes the town an even more attractive place for families to remain here or move here. The Town Highway Department reports they have an adequate supply of road salt, and the vendor this year, Compass Minerals, is storing their salt on Furman Boulevard in Buffalo, so they are able to pick up our orders much easier than in previous winters when crews had to travel to Livingston County to pick up orders. We do not anticipate any problems with the road salt supply this season. A reminder that if it snows, please be sure to shovel your sidewalks, and if you have an elderly neighbor, please consider doing their sidewalk too. The town's overnight parking restrictions are in effect now. With no snow in mid-November, the town board delayed implementation of the restrictions until December 1st, making it easier for people hosting relatives and guests during the Thanksgiving holiday. The restrictions are in effect from 2 to 6 a.m. on all town roads. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Kwanzaa. Go Bills! You've been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around western New York. Stay tuned for our second hour. Your reader for this hour has been Will Evans. Thank you for listening, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have a reading of our South Towns papers, including Orchard Park, Hamburg, East Aurora, and West Seneca's B papers or Suns. At 3 o'clock, we have the Ample Eagle, and at 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. Stay tuned for these readings and more throughout the day, and contact us if you have comments, suggestions, or questions. You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Volunteer radio readers broadcast daily readings 24 hours a day of newspapers, magazines, books, and other printed matter to area people who are blind or have a print disability, who are provided reading radios. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service has broadcast almost 40 years of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. Radio Reading Studios are at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. For more information on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, call 716-821-5555. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision,